Hello and a very warm welcome to Virgin Media Park for this meeting of Old Christians RFC and Bandon RFC for this under 18 and a half Pan Munster Boys Cup final. A thrilling contest, we hope, is in store here on the artificial surface in Virgin Media Park. The sides just entering the field of play, as you see there, and Old Christians immediately setting about getting their photo taken, and we will take a look at the sides for this one. We'll start with Old Christians, of course, first straight in front of us there. So the Old Christian side, which is captained by Brian Casson, they start with Liam Kelleher, Samuel Halloran, Kieran Roach, Sean O'Regan, Mark O'Keefe, Ben O'Connell and Louis Murphy. Louis Murphy and O'Connell, the half-back pairing. Mike White, William Maxwell, captain Brian Casson, Conor Doherty, Kieran Sneeden, Reese Cambridge, Charlie O'Shea and Rian Farrell make up the pack, and they have the full complement of subs, bringing them to 23 players togged here this afternoon. Also for Bandon, we'll take a look at their side. Bandon playing in the familiar blue shirt, and Bandon will line out side captained by number 8, Jack McNamara. They have Owen Gagley, Gavin O'Shea, Killian O'Flynn, Dennis O'Mahony, Eddie O'Sullivan, are the back pair line, and Daniel Coughlin and Noah Sullivan, the half back pair. And Jamie Ashut Desmond, Mayor's number 1, Brian Galvin, Lewis O'Sullivan, Sean Dooley, Scott Brady, Mark Slattery, Charlie Callan and the captain Jack McNamara make up the rest of the pack. So a calm, dry afternoon here at Virgin Media Park. A small amount of wind, but nothing that could spoil or indeed impact much on this contest. Bandon in the lovely shade of blue and the black shorts and blue socks, while Old Christians in that hooped jersey of yellow, black and red, wearing the black togs and indeed the mix of red and black for their socks. So we already had a thrilling under 16 final earlier this afternoon, which was won by Waterpark, with Rua Clancy try in second half stoppage time, flipping the result in their favour. Clonakilty very unlucky runners up. So if that game was top quality, we're hoping this one can somehow surpass it. I'm sure both these sides will endeavour to do so over the next 70 minutes. It is, of course, 35-minute halves here this afternoon, and we are almost set to go here. Set your clocks. We're ready to roll here as Pierce Ryan, the referee, sets his one, and he is ready for action here. It's Bandon who will kick off, playing from left to right as you look at it, defending the Dolphin goal end to our left and attacking to the south terrace here at Virgin Media Park. Looks like we're just waiting for one or two final moments, and indeed we are just about underway here in this under 18 and a half final, as the first possession of the afternoon is that of Old Christians, and Christians, of course, on the just outskirts of Cork City over in the Glanmire direction, and they clear their lines as a chance for Daniel Collin to launch an attack, skipping across from left to right, and sends it off to Mark Slattery. Slattery, though, immediately wrapped up, and already a bit of pep in the step of the Old Christians defence as they look to turn over ball and get some clean possession of their own. But in quickly there is Noah Sullivan, the scrum half, sending it out to that left. There's the centre, which is Killian O'Flynn, does well, gains maybe 12 to 15 metres in that occasion, and again O'Sullivan in scrum half to keep momentum and keep a bit of impetus for them. It's first possession of the afternoon for Sean Dooley, but he's brought to the floor and back out to Collin. They out at, there's a knock on in the tackle, is there? Yeah, referee is in agreement. Good tackle there. The number 10 for Old Christians, happy with it. It gives a big roar. That was Ben O'Connell. Just knocked the ball on in the tackle, but he was happy with his work, forcing Bandon back on their heels a little bit. So the first scrum of the afternoon. Bit of running repairs for an Old Christians player beneath us, so they're one light at the moment in the scrum stake, so the clock is stopped. So as I said, we had a thrilling under 16 final, a game that seesawed one direction and then back the other, and finally landed the way of Waterpark of Waterford. A big win for them and one. I'm sure they're just about getting their celebrations underway. Great to have your company this afternoon, wherever indeed the world you're watching. And Conor Doherty, the number 4, he is patched up, fixed up, ready to roll, and he joins his teammates in the scrum. So about a minute of a delay, maybe slightly longer. Scrum. O'Sullivan does well, pops it away, and Colin kicks up the middle, bounces favourably for Bandon. They gather the possession and can really build something from here, you feel, as the number 10 again kicks it left-footed this time. Just going to skip off the turf. Is it going to stay in? It's kept in. Oh, good tackle there. Knocked out over the line, and it looked as though the winger, or a flying winger there, was in for Bandon, but 2 covering defenders denying him. But already we see what's in the arsenal of Bandon. A little chip and chase. Looks like they can mix their angles of attack. This competition started with 8 teams, and we're now down to 2, of course, with All Christians squeezing by Kinsale in the opening round at the start of the month. 8-7. The same afternoon it was Bandon, 28 points to 7 victors over Highfield, scoring 4 tries in the process. So they certainly know how to finish off moves as the ball is cleared out over the roof and, well, bounces back down off the roof. But the semi-final pairings saw Old Christians hosting Clonakilty, and another tight victory for them, 2 points in that occasion, 16-14 over Clonakilty, bringing them to the final. And in Bandon's case, it was a high-scoring game, 31-21 victors in Ennis over NSRFC, 5 tries in the process as well. So if we were to look at that, Bandon very much the free scoring, and in the case of All Christians, very much keeping things tight and eking out the results. So back underway, ball out to this right channel. It's kicked, wants to try and chase onto his own kick, the number 14, Gavin O'Shea, blocked down, but escapes out over the end line, and it's going to be a goal line dropout for Old Christians. And Bandon already playing with such intent and such purpose, as Ben O'Connell with the ball in hand. Looks like he's going to send one across to that right wing. Didn't catch it as well as he could, doesn't even escape the 22. So chance for Bandon to run it back as Charlie Callanan gets on it. He's brought to the floor, and ball carried again out the back door. Colin finds a runner. Where's he going to go? Oh, he loses it in the tackle. Knocked on. A real let off for Christians, although it was a good defensive piece of play to deny him. And the first real look at someone heading for a whitewash, but ball knocked on. And a chance for Christians to just reassess their position, try and clear their lines. So, can they clinically execute here? The scrum half is readying himself for it, but instead they send it out there to the right wing. Clearing kick is not the best again because it doesn't bounce, doesn't go to touch, so ball will be run back there. And again, Christian's looking for the turnover, but none forthcoming, and possession secured again as O'Sullivan sends it out to Colin, and again they go through the hands. The number 10 already trying to dictate proceedings, but he's well marshalled on that occasion and brought his off to the ground. Ball, little grubber in behind, no one able to run onto it, but territory rather than possession after O'Sullivan's little kick. So chance for All Christians to see, is their line out up to scratch? I believe these sides met much earlier in the season in the league competition, and I believe Bandon were victors on that occasion. So what have Old Christians learned in the interim? Line out is taken. Line out is good. And now they get the maul motoring quite well. 8-9 metres gained already. Still have a bit of momentum, but they come back. And the out half decides to punt up the middle. Tricky one. Bounces, but well gathered there by the Bandon back. And Jersey and all nearly pulled off one of the Christians players who looked to counter-ruck, couldn't do so. And the ball is knocked on, and now Christians feel like they're in the game. They were maybe a little bit hesitant in the opening exchanges, but now they've found their feet with just by maintaining possession from a couple of scrums and lineouts, and a chance here from halfway to try and launch what will be their first considerable attack here at Virgin Media Park. Superb afternoon in terms of weather. A feast of rugby as the club season starts shuddering towards its conclusion. Ball out the back door. Oh, gathered well there by Liam Kelleher, the fullback, for a gain of a few metres, but they have lost it, it would appear. Indeed they have, and Bandon look to counter quickly as Dooley gets on it, and he does well. Oh, big carry, big take there by Lewis O'Sullivan, and the tackles are coming in there. There's a penalty though coming. It's the first of the contest. We've a bit of an injury delay here as well. Referee indicating a penalty just around the halfway line for Bandon, which call on the out half will, in fact it's just back in their own half as well when the scrum half O'Sullivan gets to his feet. It's not often you see a physio with an injury of his own, but there you'll note the bandaged up Bandon physio. So now penalty there for an offside offence. So first real kick, a touch from a penalty for Bandon. And where does he find it? Is he just outside the 22? I'd say it is. Yeah, it's a decent starting kick. Safely finds touch, didn't try to grab anything extra out of it. And what's the call? The number 2, Brian Galvin, listening to Jamie Arus-Desmond, and Galvin will know the call. He sends it near the back, but it's overcooked and not gathered, but ball is lost, and it's like a bar of soap there in the Virgin Media turf. Picked up by All Christians' Reece Cambridge. Does well to gather a few metres. Ball on the boot. Oh, Ben O'Connell looks for that 50-22. Doesn't have the legs though, but it is a dangerous one. Has to be defended by Bandon, and Christians up there to try and stop them. Ball knocked on, is it? No, indeed it is. And now you have field position. If you're Christians, they were looking for the 50-22. It didn't come, but they immediately got the squeeze on and forced a mistake from Bandon. So a very, very promising attacking position for All Christians. Of course, earlier this week we saw Bandon Grammar annexing a first ever major trophy in the form of the Munster Schools Cup, and I'm sure it has infused life into the Bandon RFC club as well. 20 points to 12. Ball kicked across field. Is he going to gather it? Oh, it's well taken. Is he going to run it in? Oh, he slips on the way to do so. Who does well to get the hand off. Sent out the back. Oh, clever kick across the field. Good defending from Bandon. They scramble well, but there's still a chance here as Louis Murphy gets on it. Sends it into his number 8. That's Rian O'Farrell. And the momentum's still there. The number 14 is on it. He gives it to the other winger. That's the number 11, Mark O'Keefe. He caught that ball, but just slipped at the crucial moment. Chance still there for Christians. They carry it through 7-8 metres now from the precious whitewash. They're going to go through the hands and try and put a bit of wit in this attack. This ball offloaded. Is he going to finish from there? Referee looking. The try is given. And there's a celebration. Christians are in this contest. Christians are in the lead. And the opening score of the game comes off that crossfield kick. And very well finished off by one of the props there. And he's given it the fist bump. An easy conversion to come, you'd feel. So, conversion to come from the boot of Samuel Haberlin. Oh, he's sprint out from the defender, but he makes no mistake. Gets it over, and a 7-point advantage. And it was the number 3 with the try. That was the team captain, Brian Castle. Powered his way over, got it down. Had to wait a second or two for the referee to see that. Referee agreed that he had indeed dotted down underneath the posts, and Casson, he liked that one. 7 points to 0 in favour of Christians. Bandon, you'd feel in many people's eyes, firm favourites for this one, but Christians not reading the script so far as they take the first score to go 7 up. So what will that do for Christians? Will it bring belief and energy into their performances? The ball is well taken in the air by O'Sullivan. The halfback pairing have been very, very lively, but it's the fullback in this occasion, Owen Galgi, and he does well, but kicks it a little bit too far for his own liking. There's players going in all sorts of directions around the middle. So O'Sullivan gives it to his number 10 and offload it to O'Flynn. O'Flynn carries well, the centre. And now there's a bit of pattern to the play as Bandon look to reply to that Casson effort with one of their own. Carry through the middle. Is there runners? There's someone off the shoulder. Lovely hands. Where is it going? It's has to be recycled, and it's with the number 2 now. That's Brian Galvin. And referee has seen an infringement. Ball, I think, held on a little bit too long, and all Christians benefit. Good hands though by Bandon. They will like that. They just didn't get enough out of it in terms of enough phases, but what they had there was good. As just another slight injury delay on that far side. You see the Christians player just at the back of behind the referee. So quarter of an hour gone here, or just about approaching that. Great to see so many families, young and old, different generations supporting both sides, scattered around the stand here in Virgin Media Park. On the western side of the ground here. A few supporters braving it over in the terrace. I say braving it, but no problem on a day like today. So, ball not released. Penalty in favour of Christians, and their number 10 will execute a clearance. That's Ben O'Connell. Finds touch, clears the stadium. And we will need a ball there, please. There's young ball boys on both sides here, helping this afternoon, keeping things moving. Well, we had a football boot thrown over the stand in the first game, so the ball going over there is a bit more normal for us to see. That resulted in a yellow card. So ball thrown to the front. Whatever the call was there, it was everyone was on the same page for Christians. Secure possession, that's the main thing. And now look to launch an attack from their own 10-metre line, or even just behind it. Says the lovely hands to get it out to this near side. Another slip there from the winger, but again he is able to hold on to possession. The ball is looked to be pulled back into the ruck. Referee, I think, has said someone went in off their feet, and as you can see there, the number 10, Ben O'Connell, getting to his feet, so he lost his feet somehow. Referee says he did so illegally, and that gives Bandon an ideal position to knock the touch. So they're about 15 or so metres from goal. And again, the props having a discussion. Brian Galvin will fire the dart. And he does so. It's disrupted and it's taken, and Casson gathers it. The move was read by Christians. They disrupt it, they gather, and now they're going to clear. And ball is going to stay in play. Tricky one. Oh, well handled there by Gavin O'Shea. He's going to try and run it back. He's drifting towards that left. Into the middle of the pitch he goes, and he's brought to the ground as Bandon tried to cycle it through the hands out to this near side. And again, the Christians' defence is decent. Is there a counter ruck there? Counter ruck is good. Referee is happy with it. And he rewards some good play from Conor Doherty, the number 4. Got in, lovely positioning of his body in over the ball. Got 2 hands in it, was supporting his body weight. And the reward is for him to win a penalty. Just another slight injury delay, as I think it's a hand injury for one of the Christians players. So a chance for some water to come on board here. Looked to be heading for a scorcher over an afternoon here when I landed about midday for the earlier game, but a little bit overcast now, but we're not complaining. It's decent weather for the penultimate day of March. So, not releasing the ball. Penalty for Christians. Slice, that's going to stay in play. Won't be happy with that one, and Bandon can try and punish that by running it back. It's the centre who carries. That's Killian O'Flynn. Already had a couple of carries and made some meters, but they decide to go to the boot of Colin. Kicks it up the middle. One bounce, and the fullback Kelleher is on it for Christians. He slices it. Is that going to go all the way out? It is. It's going to go out and back out on the full, just around the 10-metre line. So 2 kicking errors in the one passage of play. Well, first the penalty didn't make touch, and then the kick from play does, as the referee doesn't allow the quick one for Bandon. So line out. Did that go straight? Referee says it did, and then it was knocked on. And no advantage coming for Christians, who'll get the input for the put in for the scrum. Referee Pierce Ryan is assisted this afternoon by Garrett McCabe and Colin Healy, and so far so good for them. I'm sure a reward for their endeavours through the winter, autumn, and indeed then into the spring. I'll be rewarded with cup final duty here for this under 18.5 boys final, as Christians just about secure possession from that scrum. Looking to come out the back here, and bit of pace in this attack, it's fair to say. Little chip and chase, but bounces nicely to the fullback. He spills it, and another handling error from Bandon. Play will continue. Advantage coming, and into touch. We have no advantage. We're back for the knock on. It's going to be a scrum to Christians. No, as you'll see by the marks there from the referee, no meters at all gained. They went back 4 or 5, forward 4 or 5, nothing to be gained, and the net result will be another scrum. So Bandon's handling. On that occasion, I think it was the fullback Galgi who just spilled it. Just hurting their chances so far. So we've creeped over the 20-minute mark here. Ball fired in and immediately brought to the back. Scrums really have changed down here. This is the number 8, Rian O'Farrell, who carries. Does well, just gets it outside the 22. And what's in the playbook from here? Carried now by Reese Cambridge. Just crabbing across there to that right wing, looking for an opening, looking for space. Oh, it's intercepted. They're going to try and run it the length of the pitch. Can anyone catch him? Where's he going? He's going. Oh, brilliant defensive work. It was a number 13, Killian O'Flynn, who carried. Still alive though for Bandon. Can they work it out to this channel? It's Dennis O'Mahony. O'Mahony does well. It was a great defensive tackle. I didn't catch who the defender was, but kudos to him. Brilliant work as Jack McNamara carries. Bandon ever closer now to what they hope will be an equalising try. Advantage coming. Ball slowed down by Christians illegally, says the referee. 6 metres from goal. Again, they go up the jumper and just trying to crab forward. No advantage coming. So we're coming for the penalty. I believe no rolling away from Christians. Just delayed the play. And it was a superb individual run from Killian O'Flynn, but halted in his tracks. And Bandon do well from there to gather. So Sean Dooley is the man with the skull cap, and he's joined there by his number 2 and 3. That's Galvin and O'Sullivan. They tap and go, and the number 4 goes himself just short of the line there. We're trying to get our camera in as close as we can to see. There's no TMO here this afternoon. Referee has the best view of everyone though. Again, having a good look. Ball still short. Pick and go. Oh, it's held up. Well, referee on hand to see it. Not sure who the Bandon man was. Well, I thought he looked assert there to convert that and make it a level game, but I think it was Louis O'Sullivan, the number 3, who just short, fell short. I'm not sure who the Christians defender was, but my God, didn't he do well to get underneath it and stop that try. So the goal line dropout goes straight back to Bandon, and a lovely attacking position from here as Jack McNamara carries inside the 22. Again, scrum half is quickly on it. They're trying to escape into that corner. They're in. It's that man again. Killian O'Flynn finds a bit of space. We saw what he could do from his own half a minute ago. This time he only needs a few metres to go in, and he dots down, does the centre, to get Bandon on the board here as we enter the final 10 minutes of the half. Brilliant play from the catch. They carried for one phase and then burst through the cover for the other to make it for the first Bandon try. So Colin gets the tee. He's 10 metres in from that far touchline. We'll have a look at the replay just now, just as Colin lines that one up. And well executed stuff. Oh, lovely handoff from the centre. Does well and dots it down. And the kick is good. The kick is good from Colin. We have a level game here. So O'Flynn with the try and Colin with the extras. We are level. Another seesaw game to come here in Virgin Media Park. Christians trying to gather themselves as we head for an interesting period just before the interval, as the ball is kicked down by and claimed, by Sean Dooley. We saw his impressive carries, and they bring it up as Mark Slattery gets on it. Oh, lovely hands, and here he goes again. O'Flynn waiting for support runners. One left, one right, or two right. Just pops it off to one of them. Eddie O'Sullivan back to the number 13. Oh, he does well with the pass inside, and Colin finishes it. Set up again by Killian O'Flynn. End-to-end stuff. Brilliant hands, brilliant play by O'Flynn, and O'Sullivan, Colin on his shoulder to finish it off. Very, very neat play by Bandon indeed, and from 7 down just about 90 seconds ago, they're into the lead for the first time this afternoon. We'll just have a look at that again before the kick is taken. Brilliant play, just slowed himself up, as you'll see, around the middle, looked left, went right, into the number 12, O'Mahony, back to O'Flynn, and just when he was brought to ground, he found his out half on his left shoulder, and that was Colin. Brilliant bit of play. And now can Colin add the extras? Testing conversion. He's 3 or 4 meters in as well. It's going to go close. Is it going to go all the way? It is. Brilliant touchline conversion. The confidence, I'm sure, was up from the first kick, added to by the try, and now he adds another. So 9 points from Colin. And Christians looking to rise their game again. They'll be unhappy that they haven't been able to get a handle on the pacey centre that is Cillian O'Flynn. Kick's not a good one. Play goes on. Ball is knocked out. The bounce went over the 10 metres, and the line out is going in favour of Bandon. Ball didn't go 10, did bounce forward then 10, so 5 men in the line out, I think, is the call here, as smell of chips lands to us here in the commentary position. We'll have to hold that for a bit of sustenance because the game is back underway. Lovely tackle there, textbook stuff around the legs, and immediately I think a player in off his feet. In fact, he continued to carry, kind of crawl on his legs to Jack McNamara, so penalty against him. Now what's the call here? They're going to go over to this near sideline, into touch, slices it nicely as he meant to do, and a good attacking position for Christians. Stadium clock reading 29 minutes. As I said earlier, we play 35-minute halves at this age group, so plenty of time for Christians to get themselves level before the interval, as the call is told to William Maxwell. Overcooks it to the back, but they do have possession. That's the main concern. Going backwards all the time, though, as Sean O'Regan is on it. They've lost it. There's a chance of a counter. Well, where's the ball? It's knocked one way and then the other. First by Christians, then by Bandon, and the net result will be a Bandon scrum. About 12 metres in from that far touchline, or maybe 11, and midway in their own half. So Bandon, I tell you, their backs have been impressive when they have got the opportunity, and most notably, of course, the man who scored one and set one up, Cillian O'Flynn. Brilliant couple of minutes from him has flipped the scoreboard in their favour. So can the scrum do their piece of the puzzle? They can. Clean possession out the back, the scrum half, or the out half on it, sorry. And here's the full back, that's Galgi. He's tackled, but he gets his pass away to O'Shea. And all the while, Christians trying to make sure they're set up defensively. Ball carried by Charlie Callanan, I should say, and pass is not great. Oh, it was a bit of a swipe there on the loose ball, and that could have been spelled danger for Bandon. No one wants to gather possession. Oh, and the ball is knocked out on the full, but not much of a loss there. A couple of metres. Tried to fly hack it and run onto it, the Christians winger on the far side, but another line out for Bandon. Bit of a hushed period here in the stand. Decent support for the two clubs earlier, Waterpark and Clonakilty, and similar numbers I would suspect here for Bandon and Old Christians. Silverware, always a nice reward for your endeavours through the winter and into the new year. But, only one of them will leave here today, as the line out is a little bit too far to the left and the referee pings it, so a scrum to come for Christians. As I said, they're based in the Glanmire suburb of Cork City, so I'm sure have plenty of players to choose from in their development, but it's about bringing them on and on each year to bring them to this level. Next step, of course, will be into the adult teams. As ball is overcooked to this near side. There's a bit of green grass in front of him. It's kicked. Is it going to bounce? Where's it going to go? And it's that man again who's on the cover. and defended by O'Flynn. Well, we know what he can do in attack, and he proves there he knows his defensive responsibilities as well. Did very well, waited for the bounce, didn't get too close and have to go scrambling for the ball, dotted it down. So a goal line dropout to come for Colin. What will be the call now? Are they going to try and keep it tight, or is he going to try and smash it up the middle? And it's the latter on this occasion, but straight into the middle. Oh, knocked on there by his opposite number, Ben O'Connell. And what would have been a great attacking position for O'Connell is going to be a turnover ball and a chance for Bandon to launch an attack. And I say launch an attack because we saw with that second try, which was for Daniel Collin, what they can do from here. Red hot Cillian O'Flynn, I'm sure, is looking for this one off the back of the scrum. So Sullivan to put in, and referee not happy to scrum a bit too movable. So he's having a word with the front rows. Sort yourselves out, lads. Let's go again. Don't think they can blame the surface because it's consistent throughout. So, second time of asking. O'Sullivan puts it in. Ball with the number 8, McNamara. And immediately they go to the boot. Well taken though by Kelleher. And he'll try and run it back. And a chip and chase from Kelleher, inviting for the defenders to go and get it. And they do. That's McNamara. The captain does well, racing up the middle. Oh, good grab at a jersey, but the ball still goes through the hands as Dooley gets on it. Gives it to O'Sullivan. Great momentum in their attack. They really don't want rucks. They want to just keep that ball moving at all times. But good defending by Christians to just eventually put this attack to a halt. But ball carried by Daniel Collin. And again, Christians just trying to spread out their defence because it's coming in waves in attack for Bandon. Carried out to that far side again, and the number 4 there to try and stop him is Conor Doherty, is one of a couple of Christians' men who does. Ball is lost again. The hands from Bandon not going to plan. I know there's a penalty in there, and the number 3, Lewis O'Sullivan, sits up and says, "What, me?" But hands were innocent, but he wasn't. So we've another injury delay here just off camera, but a chance for everyone to gather a bit of a breath. And a chance for Christians to clear their lines as the stadium clock here ticks to the 35-minute mark. So we're going to be at the discretion now of Pierce Ryan. So far has been of good quality in explaining the decisions. He's been right up at the plate, especially for those couple of incidents in around the try lines. So we're back on the boot with O'Connell, and he just hits it just shy of the 10-metre line, I think it is, or bang on it really, yeah. So Bandon ready to rumble. And try and disrupt this line out. Line out's a little bit inconsistent so far from Christians. They've secured possession off a couple, but not as cleanly or as slickly as they would like. So what's the call this time? Went with a short one earlier, this one into the air and taken by Doherty. Immediately into the back, but no engagement really from Bandon. So ball back to the boot and straight down the throat of the winger. That's O'Shea, and he kicks it back from where it came. Christians decide to try and run it. Lovely bit of jinking play there by Rian O'Farrell, but thwarted. There's an advantage coming. So, and There's an offside there from Bandon. They didn't retreat enough from the kick, I think, was the rationale there. So Ben O'Connell will try and find touch beneath us here. A tricky kick for him because he's more or less dead in centre in the pitch. So he's going to try and reach the sideline. He does he? No, ball. Player handled the ball but didn't land back in pitch in the field of play himself. So it's going to be a line out for Christians on the 22. Got everything he wanted out of that, Ben O'Connell. I'd say his heart was in his mouth, thinking he might have missed touch, but the net result will be a line out as the captain, Casson, scorer of that early try. He tells William Maxwell what he wants, and Maxwell is going to go to the centre, I think. Indeed he does. Good secure pressure. Bandon don't engage. Play will continue. Christians almost infringed there with an offside, but Bandon deciding we don't want the mauls in this one, and it's carried. Lovely stepping work again by Rian O'Farrell. They're going to have to go out the back. Lovely jinking footwork, but brought to ground. No clear release. It was the number 12 who was tackled. That's Sean O'Regan, and he was fouled, and the tee is immediately on. So we're going for the posts here for Christians. They're just trying to cut the gap as we are in first half stoppage time. I said there's probably not enough on the clock to really try and force something that isn't there. So you'd fancy the kick at the posts from the number 14, Hellerman. We saw what he did with that conversion earlier. Goes through his routine. There's plenty of different ways of doing this, and he's found one that works for him. Straight over the middle from the winger. And that's the final act of the first half. So we're back to 4 points. It's Bandon RFC who lead 14 points to 10. Well, Christians well and truly in this contest as we head for a bit of a break. Don't go anywhere. The stream will stay live. I'll just take a small break here at Virgin Media Park. So half time, it is Bandon 14, Christians 10. Okay, you're very welcome back to Virgin Media Park for the second half of this under 18.5 contest. All Christians with that penalty right at the end of the first half, bringing themselves back to 4 points. But Bandon firmly in the driving seat. Immediately they go to the boot from number 9, Noah Sullivan. And plenty of words. Oh, it's an intercept. An intercept there by Cillian O'Flynn, the scorer of Bandon's first try, you'll recall. As they look to go down the channel, it's blocked there. Still though with Bandon in the form of Daniel Collin. And he does well to retain possession and wait for the cavalry to come. And here they are. Truck and trailer over on that far side. O'Sullivan has got through so much work. You'd wonder, can he keep this energy up? There's a penalty coming. And the ball held on to a little bit too long at the bottom of that ruck. And a chance for Christians to find touch with a penalty to start the second half as they kick into the opposition half, just shy of the 10-metre line. That penalty will have just given him a shot of confidence. And indeed that earlier try from the captain, Casson, the number 3, the prop, that will fuel them to thinking they can do this. And Bandon looking to disrupt the line out. It goes very short to 4.99 metres nearly. It feels like just about got enough out of it that it went and was gathered. Bit of a stalemate now in the ensuing ruck. Referee says possession will be turned over. Christians swallowed up. And Bandon have possession back. So I mentioned the results earlier in this competition. It's the Christians who've been keeping it tight. It's Bandon who've been the more expansive of the sides. And they're batting down for they're getting ready here for the scrum. Murphy at the back, just kept in by the foot of the number 8, and Murphy does well. Spins it out. There's a bit of pep, and there's a brilliant wrap tackle there to stop Bandon getting another pass away, and they have to come back, and back to the out half they do. Diagonally across the surface here on Cork, but gathered and returned with some interest. That's an interesting one. Where's that going to bounce? Is it going to go to touch? Is it? Oh, it doesn't. It stays in. That's very, very unlucky. And Bandon can clear their lines with a kick. And everyone trying to stay onside. Out for a touch there. Very unlucky. Very, very unlucky indeed for Christians. Kick deserved something. Deserved to go into touch, and it would have been a 50-22. But just didn't bounce the way he wanted it to, and Bandon clear. So we're kind of back to where we started there at the start of that play. Although Christians have the possession this time. What's the call from the captain? They've only one in the line at the moment, the other 4 about to join in. We see a replacement in there for Bandon. That's Giles Brennan wearing 20. See him there with the skull cap. And again, doesn't go to plan. Referee asking him to release, but this time for Christians, the ball goes to ground and they can maintain their attack. There's an infringement there at the back of the ruck. Bit of a free play here now for Christians. Not sure they're fully aware that they have advantage, but nevertheless they do. Oh, good tackle there. Another sub in there for Bandon is Alan O'Regan. No advantage coming. It was one of the players on his knees at the back of the ruck, I think, just put hand in there. And Christians have decided they're going to try and kick their way back into this contest because they're having a look at the red and white and a bit of black on them, actually. The posts here at formerly Musgrave Park, now, of course, Virgin Media Park. So this will test the range of Hellerman. Haberlin lines it up, goes through his routine, 6 steps back, moves his arms. Just going to take a step or two, 3 to the left. Now a ball to post and post the ball, so he wants to strike it straight and true, more or less, from where he's standing. He puts plenty on it. Very, very well taken. And a second penalty for him, as well as that conversion. That's 8 points to his name now. And Christians to within 1. 14-13 for Bandon. And Bandon haven't shown us anything in the second half in the last 4.5, 5 minutes. But they still, crucially, have the lead. 1 point game as Colin sends it high into the Cork sky. There's a call from one of the backs there and immediately kicks it away. Not the greatest clearing kick, we'll see. So Bandon with a nice launch pad here between the 10 and 20, the 10 metre line and the 22. Sends it out, overcooked, but they gather at the back. Always be alert if you're in the line out. The ball can go nowhere near where it's intended, and that was the case on that occasion as Louis O'Sullivan carries for a minor net gain off the back of the previous ruck. And they do well to carry. Quick hands out to that wing. Is there a bit of green grass in front? It's held up there was the fullback, Owen Galgi. Oh, sprints through the middle. The number 7. Can he offload? He can. Can he be stopped? Is he going to be held up? Referee is having a good look. Oh, it's held up. It's held up. And it was the number 4. Referee was in a very good position to see it. Sean Dooley thought he had done enough. But superb defending by a couple of Christians players. And it's very, very important intervention. How important could it be? We'll know in about a half an hour's time. And with just a small injury delays, you see their physio is in for Christians, so a couple of Bandon players getting together just to mull over a couple of things, and the same for Christians as they start with the goal line dropout. Of course, previously that would have been a 5 metre scrum, but since the laws changed a couple of years ago, the defensive team are rewarded for such endeavours, such tackling, and they'll get the reward of a goal line dropout. So Pierce Ryan was on hand to see it. Ball held up, and the dropout is not the best. Gathered the second attempt, going to try and run it back. Powerful run there by, I think it was Daniel Hyde, maybe. Could be wrong with that one needed. It was Daniel Hyde who carried. So Bandon not to be deterred after losing that opportunity. Carried well by Colin. Is he going to keep going? He is. He's going to carry closer and closer still. So ball arrowed out, knocked on. It is touchdown, but the ball was knocked on. I think the forward pass was also a possibility there. Knocked on by one of the attacking players, and a relief for Christians as we head for the 44th minute. So the points, the last 6 points have gone to Christians in form of 2 kicks from their winger, Samuel Haberlin. Good shove by Bandon, but play will continue. Sliced out of here. Christians struggling in the last 5 minutes or so to get out of the danger area, and a very, very inviting position for a line out as the number 16 who's in for Bandon. They've really refreshed their team since half-time. A lot of the pack have changed. I see 16, 17, 19, 20, they're all in there. So throwing the darts now is Adam Barry with the skull cap there. And Barry goes to the front. No engage from Christians. Referee says an accidental offside. And they got their line-out call correct, but after that, the next step wasn't considered. And Christians just decided to take a step back, take a watching brief, and the reward is, pretty sure this is just a free kick, signalled by the referee. And it's kicked out here. Christians again trying to inch their way up. Bandon will have the line out. Can they get the call right, and can they get the second phase of it like right, if you know what I mean? So Barry is happy with his first line out. The call coming from Louis O'Sullivan, and they go, no, we're going to go again. They're going to have to change the call, you feel, this time. Don't think the referee indeed, or the two lineouts were fully set, so Bandon go to the playbook again, and the call is delivered back to the replacement prop Barry. Similar enough throw, gathered, spilled, but never went forward. And quick hands, gets it out to the back as ball is spilling along the turf here at Musgrave Park, but Bandon will carry. There's an advantage coming. I believe that would probably be for offside. So carried. Oh, almost out the back door from Noah Sullivan. Well read by a Christians player, but there was an offside infringement. No advantage was coming, and a chance for Bandon to just pile the pressure back on. 7-pointer now would be a big one. Put it back out to a 2-score game. As they go for the corner with a direct kick from Colin. Of course, he was the scorer of the try, the second try for Bandon. So, plenty of action for Barry in terms of lineouts. They go again safely to the front. Christians have to engage this time, you feel, and they do. It's rolling. Oh, the players are still going, but the man with the ball is not. And on the floor, it stood back up. Christians management trying to get instructions on of what they need to do here. They haven't been able to get out of their own half for the last 6 minutes. I think it is 6, maybe even 7 minutes now at this stage, as they get outside the 22. But clean possession here, and a carry is what's needed for Christians. It's Maxwell who's still firing the darts over there. So his captain tells him what he wants. They're going to go, no, they're going to drift back. They waited for the jumper from Christians, and again Bandon don't engage, and again Christians have to be smart enough to not infringe. They do well to get it out here. I'd say his eyes lit up there, thinking he was going to escape. And Bandon tackling all the way, knocked on there. Knocked on by the winger, Samuel Haberlin. It was just a tricky enough pass for him to gather, but he to stretch out his paws, and the net result is a knock on. A lot of handling errors in this game. The nerves, I'm sure, of a cup final can't be ignored. And if you're Bandon, while they're only ahead by the slenderest of margins, they'd be happy to be playing so much of the second half down to our left-hand side here in the attacking half of the pitch from their point of view. The scrum goes to plan. They get it out the back, and will try and carry through Dennis O'Mahony. And again, player in off his feet. I think it was the scrum half, indeed it was this time. Noah O'Sullivan too eager at the ruck, and I think he gives the referee a bit of a thumbs up, saying, yeah, I was probably a bit over eager there. Discipline from both sides to the ref looks to be fairly impeccable this afternoon. That's one of the Christians' backroom team, I think, plucks the ball out of the sky into a small applause. Probably deserved more than that, to be fair. Didn't need to mark it, so Christians bringing in Dara O'Donovan, wearing 22, just trying to fresh legs. It's an energy sapping afternoon as the line out drifts, and it's again not executed to perfection or near it, and a scrum coming for Bandon. And again, Christians one step forward and feels like 1.5 or 2 back, and again Bandon playing the game where they want. It's going to take one moment of magic, you feel, for Christians to get up the other end. The kicking strategy hasn't worked. It's very gentle breeze. Maybe it's picked up a little bit, actually. I'm just looking at the flags to my left, and it's certainly behind Bandon. Maybe that's why Christians have struggled with their clearing kicks in the last little while. So all the practice this season for these scrums, all the gym work and everything that goes with it, put to good use there by Bandon. They executed perfectly. Here comes Colin, almost scrapes over the 22, and the referee says no rolling away for Christians. No advantage for Bandon, so we're going to go back. And again, I wonder, are they going to call for the kicking tee, or what's the play here? It doesn't look like it. So another injury delay here. It's tired bodies all over the place. Bandon nearly changed their whole pack. I see them seeing a lot of the lower numbers down there. They certainly changed 4 of them. Half of them is a significant number, and most of them at half time. So they wanted that freshness, and they've probably got it. Yet to score though in the second half, so now wouldn't be a bad time to do it. So no tee is called for. We're going to kick for touch. Ooh, it's knocked backwards twice. Going to be a 5-metre line out for Bandon. Not his greatest kick, I think he'd agree with me. But the result is what matters on a day like this, and it scraped its way over the line. And a great position now for Bandon. We've seen the sides not engage in the rolling mauls, and again, is that Wise so close to the goals, or so close to the try line? Eventually it's on the turf, and Christians scrambling to defend this one, desperate to try and deny Bandon a crucial 5-pointer here. They're keeping it tight, and where is it? It's finished in around the back. I'm not sure who's ultimately finished it off. They've cut their way in, and the try in the corner puts 6 between them again. Looks to be the number 4, I think, Sean Dooley, who's finished it off. So conversion to come. Back to 6 for this Under 18 boys cup final. Now, yeah, it was the number 4, Sean Dooley, who just pulled himself back out of the ruck, asked for the ball, and powered his way over. Here comes the kick. Where's it going? Crucial kick, he's got it. 2-score game all of a sudden. Brilliant kick from Daniel Collin. Touchline conversions, while they're only worth 2 points, they are precious 2 points if you're from Bandon. 8 in it. Christians need to find a new lease of life from here. 8 points in arrears, have been camped in their own half for about a dozen minutes or so. And with a quarter of an hour of this contest to go, they'll have to come up with 2 scores at least from here. Kickoff is easily retained by Bandon. Christians go and chase though, trying to disrupt and dislodge. And here's our man again, Mr. O'Flynn. Been very impressive, but he's halted before he could build up any head of steam as Colin gets on it again. Jinking, been brilliant at out half this afternoon. I think you'd agree. Christians need something to reignite their challenge. They thought they had done so with 2 successful conversions either side of the interval. Ball kicked down that far side. Who's it going to bounce for? Christians do well. Oh, great tackle there. Can they turn it over? Who has the ball? Referee though says a penalty is coming in favour of Christians. And I'd tell you, it was heart in your mouth stuff if you're Christians there, because that was the game on the line there if they conceded there. But referee keeping up with play decides that we're going to have a penalty. Another injury delay here as Oscar O'Connor, wearing number 18, is introduced for Christians. I tell you, the physio for both teams, the physios are getting their steps in. So for the boys clubs, under 18.5 Munster Cup. Also in this competition we had the likes of Kinsale, Shannon, Clonakilty, Garryowen, Highfield and Ennis RFC. They were the other sides who will be looking on with a bit of envy this afternoon. So fresh legs for Christians, and again clear their lines with the penalty. This will have to go to hand as Christians unfortunately have lost Louis Murphy, their out half, to a hand injury, so he's gone off. Where can they go with this? Go to the front. Bandon there to disrupt, but Christians have it and they go to ground. Calls for an offside there, but nothing coming from the referee. Christians keep the ball in hand and eventually are put to ground. And again, you'll note that they started outside the 22 and now have ended up inside it. So their clearing kick doesn't get them over halfway as Galgi gets on it, carries through the middle, loses the ball, spills one way, spills the other. Referee saying we will try to play an advantage. Christians a little bit short of ideas there, but eager to carry it is Rian O'Farrell. Does well. I don't think they want to scrum here now, but they're going to get one. They've lost it. First infringement was a knock-on by Bandon. And all of this does is it takes precious seconds off the clock here. And it allows Bandon to just refuel the lungs and fill them up with air again and reset their defensive shape. Well, we hope if you're tuning in from Cork or indeed further afield, you're enjoying this broadcast of this game. We've had plenty of action across schools and clubs and AIL and everything else the last few weeks. Very, very busy period for rugby. Oh, the pass doesn't go to hand, and it was a bit of excitement there for a second as we thought Oscar O'Connor was going to show us what he could do, but ball, I think, knocked on in the process. He just went ahead of it. As Bandon will get the put in. This has been a very fragmented second half. A lot of penalties, a lot of knock-ons, a lot of line-outs, and I haven't really seen the sustained phase play from these sides as we get in the scrum. Not going as straight as we'd like, but referee happy to allow it to develop. Noah Sullivan out to the winger, and that's Dennis O'Mahony. The high kick, Chase, where's it going to go? I thought he could have called the mark there. Well, Christians tried to escape, and they've lost it forward. Bandon can come back at them. I'm not sure why the Christians player didn't call the mark, but eventually they knock it on. And Bandon have set up camp in the Christians half, and they are not leaving until they have a bit of silverware to come up and collect in front of us here in the stand at Virgin Media Park. I tell you, if we had a graph to show it, we'd see about 3 or 4 minutes from Christians in the Bandon half, and more or less since then Bandon have been camped down here. That try from Sean Dooley, crucial score, as too was the conversion to go with it as they look to seal it now. Bandon, oh, brilliant play by O'Flynn, is tackled well though. Good hands. Is it knocked on? It is another knock on, as Christians thought maybe they could avail of the advantage, but we're going to be back for the scrum. It's a fine big piece of silverware that's up for grabs. Saw it down in the tunnel area earlier this afternoon, so that's the one that will be presented, and you feel like Bandon are starting to think about their name being put on it. Eight points and about 8 minutes on the stadium clock here. As the scrum just comes to a standstill. Christians have to kick to clear. It's a decent kick. It's well, it's more than decent. It brings the game up in front of us here to near enough halfway. Very, very good clearing kick. But it's time for Christians, you feel, to steal a line out. They're going to need to steal. There's a call of 5 in the line out, as the call will come. They're taking their time about it, but the call will come to Adam Barry. And Louis O'Sullivan calls it. They're going to go to the back, spins, loses it in the wind a bit, and chance for Christians through Haberlin. Ball squirting about there. Christians haven't had any real continuity in their play in the second half, but they do still have a fighting chance, underdogs as they may be. Brilliant stuff from Killian O'Flynn. Certainly, if you were to pick a man of the match this afternoon, he'd certainly be in the reckoning. There's no doubt about that. Is the counter ruck good? It is, and the turnover comes for Bandon. Ball not released from the ruck, and Bandon showing their defensive qualities very much in the second half. They've defended in the Christians half, and they get the reward there for a very good counter ruck as they kick to touch inside that 22, and you feel the fight starting to dwindle ever so slightly from Christians. They know the clock against them, the scoreboard now against them, and Bandon have a pep in their step as that kick reaches well inside the 22. The blue of Bandon, their back line lined up lovely out here waiting for clean possession to come. Instead though, they go with the rolling ball. A nice gain there. There's eventually someone on his haunches. Is not the player with the ball though. The ruck continues and keeps going inside the 5 metre line, and another infringement there as the referee decides that Bandon had infringed. And the ball now brought forward for a little bit of descent. And a tap and go. He's going to race through. Oh, just had his jersey grabbed right when he looked like opening up and racing through. And again, Christians off their feet at the back of that ruck. And just when you were starting to dream big for them, they infringe. And almost like an action replay from a minute ago, they're going to kick for the corner here, our Bandon. It was in the centre of the pitch a minute ago, as you recall. Jack McNamara, the captain, just been spoken to by the referee, just asking, I'm sure, these players keep their discipline for the final few minutes of this contest, as Colin gives it plenty, and this one creeps inside the 22 again. Of course, this while it is a final and it's important for these boys, it's a development opportunity for the clubs and trying to bring these players from under 7s all the way to the adult age groups. And next step for some will be the adult teams, and for others maybe seconds or thirds teams if they're available to them. But chance for Bandon to barrel through the middle with Jack McNamara, the captain, trying to round it out for his team, as Sean Dooley tries to join in the back of that ruck. But they just said come through the hands as Dennis O'Mahony gets on it, just juggling it. Saw a gap that wasn't really there, but he keeps hold of the rugby ball, and ball came off a leg, went backwards, says the referee. Christians need a turnover and they need a sharpish, as ball drifting back to that corner again. Christians doing everything to try and stop them, and they do get it to ground. Ball carried through the middle, finished off there. That's it, that's surely the sealing try. And it's the number 8 who finishes it. The team captain, Jack McNamara, throws the ball up in celebration. Too powerful and too neat and tidy in terms of the hands there. And the advantage, the score's now doubled. 13-6 to 26. Bandon, as they have done already in this competition, finding the tries at will, and they are heading for it. There's the replay. Let's have a look at it again. It was neat and tidy. Their handling has let them down sometimes this afternoon, but there was a certain amount of patience about this one. And the captain gave a clap. He wanted the ball. Barrels through 2 or 3 tacklers. No match for him. And as we see, the conversion is good. Daniel Collin adds another conversion, and Bandon can start dreaming, or not dreaming, start thinking about collecting that cup. We're about 2 minutes away on the stadium clock, 3.5 here on our clock on screen, so we'll have a little bit more to play. Christians, I'm sure, will hunt a score just to restore some pride, and Bandon have changed several of their team in that passage play, including the try scorer there, McNamara, being replaced. So using their squad depth as Christians try to fashion an opportunity of their own. Ball sprayed out by Andrew Lane, and a little chip and chase, but well read by the defending Christians man. Samuel Halliburn shoved back every time they seem to get it. There's a blue jersey in their way, and they've picked him up here, and referee says put him down, and indeed they do. As ball, oh, lovely little kick through the middle. Can he get on it? He can. 1 tackler missed him, 2. Ball sprayed out to the side, and the referee says that pass went forward. Very unlucky from Christians. Deserved more, did the run from Sean O'Regan. He sensibly tried to fire it out to his left, and his pass just went marginally forward. So that could be the last opportunity that Christians create. There's another injury for them over on that far side. But a fine afternoon of finals here. As I said to you earlier in the piece, Water Park defeating Clonakilty thanks to Rua Clancy's late try. The final act of the contest, they did kick the conversion as well. As another sub for Christians, in comes Fionn Porta wearing number 17. He's going to get to grace the historic venue here in Musgrave Park, or Virgin Media Park as it's now known. Unfortunately, one of the Christians players is to limp out of this contest. So that early try from Brian Casson, not enough for Christians. They did, of course, add a couple of penalties, but you must feel Bandon have been deserving winners here this afternoon. I don't think too many from the Christians, all Christians persuasion could have disagreed with me on that. Bandon worthy winners and have proven in this competition in the 3 games, have been formidable opposition for everyone. As ball is kicked, that goes back, spilled, and blue jersey again up in chase, and again there's an opening. They try to go through the hands, ball goes back. Christians try to run it back, and as I said, pride now very much on their minds and seeking to get the final score of this afternoon's contest. We've reached the 70 minutes here inside the stadium, and our own clock there is a tick or two behind, but we're now probably at the discretion of Pierce Ryan, the referee. We will have a few minutes, I'm sure, after numerous delays with injury. Bit of width there now for a few players on the width there for Christians that unfortunately can't evade the challenges. Were coming for a penalty. Just a slightly high tackle, the seatbelt tackle as we've come to know it. And we have an injury here for Bandon. And about halfway. So when the full-time whistle goes, we will bring you the presentation beneath us here in the stand. So if you're from Bandon, I am sure you're going to wait around for that one. It's the number 20 who's injured beneath us, Giles Brennan, and what a ply by the management team to refresh the team at half time. So he's been replaced by Mark Slattery wearing 6. So high tackle gives a penalty to Christians, and they're going to kick for touch. Sliced though. Sometimes it's just not your day, is it? As the ball is sliced and gathered by Bandon. I talked about Christians looking for a score. Bandon will be looking for another one, bring him over that 30-point mark, which they had done earlier in the competition. 31 points against the Ennis in the semi-final and 28 against Highfield. So that's very, very impressive. 97 points in 3 outings. Ball knocked on there, hacked through. Referee, I think, should allow the play to continue. We're going to come back, though. He says no advantage. And it's going to be a scrum for Bandon. The Bandon management team is headed up by Richard O'Sullivan. He's Dave McLaughlin, Dylan Barr, Ty Galvin, Keith Fuller, and Eamon Gwynevin in the management team. So a mix of youth and experience in the management team has helped them deliver this piece of silverware. They're just waiting now for the shrill of the whistle from the referee as they look to bring their competition total, as I said a second ago, over 100 points, 97 points. They probably don't know that, but another scorer will do that as Christians trying to defend their line as the ball is kicked out of play. That's it. Full time here at Virgin Media Park. Bandon are the winners. Worthy winners indeed. 28 points to 13 overall. Christians. Commiserations to Christians. They put up a spirited display, had it back to a point early in the second half, but in fairness to Bandon, they certainly dominated that second half. Worthy winners, as you can see their players getting into a bit of a pile on the field. Do stay with us. We will have the presentation in the next couple of minutes, but congratulations to Bandon RFC, under 18.5 cup winners. Deserving winners. 3 fine victories in this competition. Victories over Highfield by 28 points to 7. Victor away to Ennis 31-21, earlier in the month, and they round out a memorable march by winning this one by 15 points, 28 points to 13, and a good sporting handshake from both sides. I'm Tom Clancy signing off. The stream will stay live, and we will have the presentation in just a few moments. Thank you very much.
winners here today in this wonderful final. So now present the trophy as Jack's mother present the trophy, the Munster Under 18 trophy to Bandon, Munster champions. Well done, Jack. That thing is tied there badly, but anyway.
Camera. Huh?
No, take.
The camera's up there.
I just want to say thanks very much to all Christians for a great game. They're a great side and very plucked us in the whole match. I just want to say thanks to the ref and his assistants. They're a very fair game. I want to say thanks to Munster Branch for organising all this and Virgin Media Park for hosting. And I just want to thank again the coaches, Keith, Eamon, Barry, Jimmy, Tyke, Dylan and Ricky. And I just want to thank all the parents for bringing lads to training every night and buying all the gear. Thanks very much.
Mike?